Matt from Philly. That works.
All righty. Anybody else want to say hello?
All right.
My name is Diala. I am from Philly and I work for Medtronic. I'm in medical device sales. If anyone's interested in talking about that,
That is
feel
cool.
free to reach out.
All right. I love it. Thank you for sharing. You know, who we are, where we're from, and what makes us who we are is great. All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm from Audubon, New Jersey.
Brian from New Jersey. All right. Oh, there you go. Thanks for checking in. Now we're moving on to our next segment. Ooh.
All righty. So before we kind of reveal the night's theme, we would just want to send a shout out to everybody that's watching at home, watching on YouTube. Please let us know where you're watching in from. It's always cool to find out where our viewers are. We just found out we got a person from New York,
Yeah.
so we're growing and we're kind of getting out there. So definitely, if you're on the webs, you're checking us out, say what's up and tell us hi.
Yeah, and then people that who's here, who's not here, your friends and families, tell them if they can't be here in present, tell them to watch it at home and like, subscribe. So we love more audience participation. Again, our whole point is we're trying to grow, right? The whole purpose of our community is growing.
Absolutely.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, if they like, they can share the link. And the link is live right now at YouTube /the Cause Community Network. And if you go to that YouTube, which is youtube.com/@Cause Community Network, you can share it right now so people can watch and comment. And it looks like we do have 3 viewers right now who have just tuned in.
Yeah, they have it on the pamphlet. Your pamphlet has a QR code that you can scan.
All
right.
righty.
All right, so speaking of the theme of tonight,
What we got tonight, Miss Hyatt?
well, let me share with you. I always share that I've been bipolar and I have struggled through my mental health. So when I'm on my high manic phase, sleep was something that I struggle with. So so insomnia was something that I dealt with most of my young life into adulthood. So we're going to get some tips on what does rest mean, what it means for your life in different ways, because in different part of our phases in our life, we go through different difficulties that makes our rest a challenge. So I think it's about, what are we going to do? Recharge.
Through rest. So
All right, let's recharge.
every show we have 2 goals that we try to accomplish. One of them is we always try to be inspired to learn about tonight's topic. And rest is important. I can speak from experience. If you guys can't hear, I need to take a rest myself because I'm pushing myself a bit. So being able to learn why rest is important, how rest can recharge your body, recharge your energy, even most importantly, recharge your focus is really huge.
Absolutely. And then we're going to expand, and again, the growing community we want. And the more you like this program, invite more people to be here, watch us in person or watch us live on YouTube. And that's the whole point, expanding our community.
All right, fellas, what we got next?
Ooh.
So now this is a very fun part for us. One of the things we love to do is going out into the community and learning about what our community members think and how they feel about certain topics and certain themes. So check out what the community says about how important rest is.
Rest is so important to me because it's a way to, practice self-care and also to prioritize myself. So I need to rest. I need to take a step back. I need to take a break sometimes. So I listen to my body, and when it says we need to rest, then that's exactly what I should do and do. And I call it self-prioritization.
La importancia de dormir bien. Es bueno para ti, para rejuvenecer tus músculos, tus células y todos tus órganos del cuerpo.
I will say, specifically as an adult, as a mother, not getting rest and not being recharged could lead to future health disparities. It could include anxiety, cardiovascular health, mental health, Rest is super important when it comes to your health as an adult, as a parent.
I would say that it does help in school, but also it can help socially. If you are like very tired, you wouldn't want to talk to people, and you would just be like, you would just kind of develop social anxiety. It also helps for like adults with like sleeping, so you don't sleep behind the wheel. I know a bunch of like car accidents and train accidents happen because people are very tired. So it just helps your brain focus when you're doing everything.
The importance of rest. Being able to get peace of mind, being able to gather your thoughts, so you can wake up rejuvenated. That's my thoughts for the day.
So that's what they thought. Now, what do you guys think about? What does rest mean to you?
Rest or recharging?
Yep.
What does it mean to you? Who'd like to speak up here? Coming out to the audience. Oh, we got one over here? Oh, yeah.
For me personally, sometimes I struggle with like overthinking, and I notice sometimes I'm like in my head a lot, and then the only thing that turns that off is like taking a quick 20-minute nap.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. The rest from thought,
Yeah? Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
because
Rest
I
from
actually
thought?
just feel I just realized how exhausted I get from thinking. I
Yes.
didn't even I've been thinking about
Restful
physical.
thoughts. That's like amazing.
Oh man, like, oh boy, I feel exhausted all of a sudden now that I've recognized that part of me. I need to turn that off. All right, more thoughts on rest. Yes, over here, our New York attendee.
As a student, taking a break from doing schoolwork is really important. So I like to do things that I enjoy doing. So playing a game, reading a book, drawing, doing art, painting, stuff like that, just to take a break from the academics of it.
That's important.
I bet it actually helps your academics in the long run.
Sometimes.
But it's sometimes, if you're all work and no play, then it could make the work suffer after all. So thank you for sharing. Do we have anyone else who'd like to share? Did I see hands over here? No? All right. It looks like that is what we've got for sharing. Yeah?
All right. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone at home sharing? Do we have any chime-ins from the intranet?
Not at the moment, but
From
I'm
the
sure they're
interwebs?
warming up.
Hey, type those comments. Get them in here. We'll shout them out live.
Yeah, we want to hear what you're thinking.
I think it's time for the 5 benefits.
Okay, let's hear them.
Each episode, we talk about the 5 benefits of the segment that we are studying. Today is rest and recharging. So let's talk about stress reduction.
All right, stress reduction. What is that? It lowers your cholesterol level, helping the body recover. Even taking a deep breath in. Just like she said, rest from thoughts. Just the idea of okay, just when you do that, your blood pressure, everything in your body is just slowing down. So slow down with it. What do you think?
I honestly think that's probably the best thing you can do because stress kills. We all know this. We all seen the studies. We all know the numbers. So anytime you can reduce the amount of stress you got in your life is always a big deal. So what's next? What we got? It improves your immune system support, especially during this time of year. Weather's changing. Things are going in and out. You kind of.
Are you feeling okay too? Because your immune system. He's losing his voice. Yeah. Derek has come in and saying that he's lost his voice for most of the day, and he's pushing through. But maybe rest and just be with us here for tonight for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what a community member does to say, maybe I can take this load for you and you rest.
Now, if you feel like chiming in, tap, and we'll let you know. But right now, you can just take a rest.
So now we have the physical recovery, right? Why rest is important. So if you have if you had surgery, you've been ill, so it's important to listen to your body, to say, what does my body telling me now? And what do I need to do? So that is rest from thought, and this is rest from listen to your body. Your body needs a rest. I've been fasting this Ramadan, and I know I haven't been sleeping, but I napped to recharge. So I'm up all night doing my spiritual thing, that I rest because my body needs to recover and I can't do things. So
And I do think we're going to learn a little bit more about this later in the show, but the amount of sleep you get, how long it is, can you get into those deeper levels of sleep?
Yeah.
Because my daughter, hopefully she's watching at home, Cadence taught me, that is a lot when the body recovers, both mentally and physically. And if you keep running your body without that, you won't recover, but give yourself time for that physical recovery, for the things, the magical body to do what it needs to do. Boosted creativity, one of my favorite things. Again, with a fresh mind, you can come up with fresher ideas. You've probably all been around a meeting or a boardroom where people haven't gotten enough sleep, and it's just not productive. Creativity's not happening. So make sure you are rested to get those brains moving.
or brain farts. You say things you don't need to mean if you don't get rest. So yeah.
Didn't realize we were at that
Can we
level.
say brain farts on TV?
I don't think so. Brain past gas.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Brain mistake. This is the adult show, by the way, everybody. We do have a kids version of this. If you have kids at home and they want to learn in this style, the monthly focus is on the first Thursday of every month. But here we can. Go ahead. Tell us more about brain mistakes.
Yeah, see, wording matters, right? So brain mistakes. So when you are not rested, you say things you do not mean. And you're like, maybe I should not have said that. And if you have rested, maybe you wouldn't.
All right. And for the last of the 5 benefits, emotional resilience. I think this goes to AO's comment, one of our comments about resting your thoughts. If you want to be able to be emotionally resilient, to actually have the brain power to do the work, you need that rest. And our friend Ellis once said, he's a trainer, and he said whenever he goes to the gym, he's exercising 2 things, his muscles, but also his willpower. So with that emotional resilience, you need it to be rested and ready to go to keep moving.
Yeah. So let's get moving. Ooh, now we get to play, and I hope this is a game where we really need your voice shouted out. So we're going to be showing you it's either this or it's that.
And can we get a little lights in the back? Yeah, so we make sure that every single time we have an event here, there's a part where we get a little silly, a little bit interactive. That's perfect. That's great. Thank you. And so this or that is a game that was actually taught to us by our youth, by the younger people in our community. But as Hayat said, you're either going to choose this or that, and then you shout out this or you shout out that to represent the vote that you want. Let's see what we've got.
They're really tough this week, so you got to think about them.
Oh, okay. In the rest and well, it's supposed to be a rest one. And that, by the way, is a great PowerPoint graphic. Oh, this or that. Coffee or tea? This?
No.
This?
No.
Yes.
No.
Do we have any that's?
That. I'm a that.
Oh, we have 2 that, 3 that's.
Wow.
We have 4 that's. Billy in the back's of
So-
that, and we have.
I'm a that.
That's very interesting.
I know more people
The
can see.
that's are all the way over there, and they're all the way back there, and the thises are all in the middle. I wonder what that.
Wow,
I don't know.
right? Tea.
I am a this who's trying to become a that. I want to become a British gentleman who drinks tea.
I'm both.
Yeah.
I like coffee in the morning, tea at
Oh
night.
boy, here we go. Do you want that artificial energy drink kind of energy or the natural juices?
No judgment.
Ooh, who's the this? Oh, another. The this in the back. Well, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
it's obviously there's a right answer to this one. There's obviously a correct answer to this one.
There's no judgment at the monthly.
That's
That's
right.
what I said,
But we're
no
not going to tell you
judgment.
which it is so we don't get sued by one of the organizations. All right, what's next?
It's yours. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
All right, do we got take a nap or push on through? This.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you right now, are you saying what you want to be or what you
That's
are?
true.
All right, what are you?
That.
Everyone's in that? Oh, we got a couple of thises. This? How many that's wish they were thises?
No, I don't like.
Only 2. 3, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a napper either. But
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a
that's-
personal note, because that makes the show fun. My wife says that I'm terrible after a nap, so she's like, she
That's what
does
I mean.
not want me to nap.
I
Yeah,
know,
she
you
says
can
that
get
my
groggy.
attitude is terrible after nap. But I disagree.
Your body disagrees, but he
that's
disagrees.
right.
Okay.
That's right. All right, here we go. This or that. We've got do it yourself or ask others for help. This with a that. What was that? This with a that complex.
I love that
Ooh, I
answer.
like that.
Boom.
This,
Guys,
yep.
I didn't hear the rest of
I
it.
heard a lot of thises.
This? Really?
Do you also not read instructions?
I can't. I hate
Like, do you just open up a box and start putting something together? Or, yeah. Someone's pointing to their spouse. I think we're being revealed here. Yeah. Anyone read the instructions in here? All right, good. So it's a good balance. So you can check the work of your partner. All right,
Or
very
you
good.
have kids, you can give it to them. That's what I do. I'm like, here it is, put it together.
Oh, yeah. That should be the other that. All right, here we go. This or that. Group, alone. I like this. Balance.
Or it depends when.
Okay.
When you want to be.
Depends when, yeah. You know what? I think that's one of the magical things about the world. And this is one of the themes that we have at the cause, is that we say that there are 3 levels, right? You have the individual level of yourself and what your energy is put into the world, what you're doing, how you're spending it. Are you bringing light? Are you bringing darkness? What is your one little energy dot? And then when you get in a group, like an office or a family, you become multiple dots. Now you have more power, but you still can make sure you're focusing that energy in a way that you want it. And what we've got here is now groups of groups, and that's what community is. And so what I love about what I'm explaining here is that each part of that cycle is important. You need the alone time, you need the small group time, and you need the community time.
Yep.
And we try to provide that here, but I hope you're looking for that in your own life as well.
Absolutely. Pay attention to your body when you need which time.
All right, that might be, do we have one more of the this or that's? No, I don't think so. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment.
Yes, please.
A friend of mine is in the house. Her name is Dr. Eliza Carter. She's somewhere in here. And yes, we are so blessed to have you in the house. But even more blessed is that we were able to send the Monthly Purpose Film crew to spotlight the work that she does in the community. So you're going to get to introduce through the video spotlight here.
Yes.
And a little bit later, we're going to also have another special surprise, as she is also our musical guest later.
Woohoo!
That's right. But first, let's see what the work's all about before we get to the play. Shall we?
Yep.
All right, let's take a look.
My name is Dr. Eliza Carter, and I am a breathologist, and my practice is to teach women specifically how to reset their nervous systems and how to create a calm moment, not just because they need it, but because they enjoy it on a daily basis. There's so many benefits to breath work. One is it literally detoxifies the mind and the body. It takes out the repressed emotions. It helps you to go from the high to the low. And it's the first thing we actually should be doing when we get out of the bed in the morning. Try some breathing, and you'll begin to see that your body and your mind can come together in harmony. And you can de-stress and decompress in a matter of seconds. And who doesn't want to feel like that? Often, continuously. It's so beneficial. And once you get started and being intentional about how you take the deep breathing seriously, you'll never ever stop. A breathwork session involves a couple of dynamics. We do an assessment to see where you may be stuck at in some part of your body. Stress could be in the lungs, it could be holding in the fingertips, it could be holding in the womb, and then we have actually customized sounds like the ah, like the s. These sounds allow you to actually get relief in the mind and the body. So once we get past the assessment, you begin to do the practice. And we have a 29-day Enrich Her Moves practice where you begin to wake up and you do the breath work, you do some journaling. The practice is always about unleashing that pressure that we carry on a daily basis. Whether we know what it is or don't know what it is, it shows up in some form or fashion, especially in a bad attitude, right? people have to understand this. If you don't make time for yourself, if you don't take a moment to just sit, close your eyes, decompress from whatever it is you're feeling, then you are what? Taking it into the meeting, you're taking it back home, and you're just carrying it unnecessarily. So why do we really need rest? Rest is when the body settles down to heal itself. Rest is really clearing the mind from all of the outside noise, and rest is literally recharging yourself as a whole. When we don't get proper rest, we find ourselves can be cranky, we find ourselves can be unfocused, and we can find ourselves not being able to operate throughout the day in a happy zone. You know, not that every day is happy, but when we get the rest that we need, we feel recharged, we feel satisfied with ourselves. I would love to give an example right now to you, so you could just close your eyes for a moment, settle in, and say, you know what? Let me put my hand on my heart and appreciate that my heart beats with the rhythm of life, and take a few deep breaths and release. This is a little simple practice we can do anytime and anywhere. In the car, in the home, before breakfast, before dinner, before lunch. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it at a stoplight. You can do it at a stop sign. You can do it before you answer that crazy call. You know what I mean? You have choices. You can do it anywhere and anytime. Enjoy your breath. And think about this. Doing that consistently, it regulates the heartbeat. It settles the emotions. And you come out of fight and flight in a matter of seconds. We have way too many things to be frustrated about to add more things in because you've not realized the importance of your breath to recharge, reset, and properly rest in a moment so that you can disconnect from all the outside forces and that loud noise and come inside where there's peace, there's harmony, and there's a calm moment that you can enjoy and say, you know what? I'm not going to get upset about that again. But the more you say it, guess what? You begin to disconnect to the emotional chaos that you once thought was okay to feel, and you didn't actually like to feel it. So just get into a space where recharging and resetting and resting becomes your priority. That will change how you do life on a daily basis, and you deserve to have that.
And once again, we're lucky to have Dr. Carter in the room. Let's give her a wonderful round of applause for the magical work she does. And now for Conversations with a Purpose, Amy Herb.
A button, you got me. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to get my energy up just a little bit because I feel relaxed, and if anyone else in the room was sort of doing the breathing exercises while that was going on, they feel good. Thank you for that video. That was awesome. So I have two special guests with me tonight. So I have Brian and Matt, and I'm going to have both of you take turns introducing yourselves to the group here and tell us just a little bit about you with a focus on sleep and what sleep means to you.
Hey, everybody. Excuse me. My name is Brian, and I am here to talk about sleep. And sleep is one of those things that I think is very easy to overlook because it seems to be an automatic process. But sometimes in life it's not so automatic. And there comes a time, at least for me, I had profound sleep apnea from the time I was probably in middle school, and it was undiagnosed. And this is why having access to community to help you recognize things you can't see for yourself, and also professionals that have the ability to assess needs and then provide services. At 34 years old, I was provided a CPAP machine. And let me tell you, at 34, it was embarrassing. It was difficult to go through the study. It took a night away from home with all this equipment hooked up, and it fundamentally changed my life. And I'm 47 now, and it's been a tremendous journey of acceptance, discipline, perseverance to push through, and really to integrate something outside of myself, ask for help, and then to get the help, and then follow through with it once I was given it, and it's made a big difference. But tonight, I'm here to talk about my current sleep hygiene and what I do on a daily basis to help maximize my potential. And I also have a sleep buddy with me, Matt, and here he is.
Thank you, Brian. My name's Matt, Brian's sleep buddy. But on a serious note, my name's Matt, and what sleep means to me, right? It means that sometimes, lots of times, we need to slow down to speed up, right? If our tank isn't full, we can't show up for the people who matter to us. We can't show up in our responsibilities, in our community, and it's so easy to feel like we always need to be moving, always need to be doing something. For years, I felt I was running on fumes in that department, and in slowing down and being mindful about my patterns as it relates to rest, to being restored, I've felt that through that good sleep hygiene and through the community that's come from the pursuit of good sleep hygiene, I've been able to show up in ways personally, professionally, that I just wasn't able to do before. So I'm really looking forward to talking more about that tonight.
So, fun fact, that although this is Brian's first time at the Purpose, this is not Brian's first time with the Cause. So Brian is one of the podcasters from the 302 De-Stress. And so you used the term today, and Matt used it as well. So you're talking about sleep hygiene. And your specific podcast talk about sleep hygiene for your mental health. Don't necessarily think of hygiene and sleep together. So can you both talk to us about what you mean by sleep hygiene? What is that?
I think it's, first of all, we're all individuals that have different needs at different times in our lives. And I think the best person to compare yourself to is yourself. And it's very easy to compare to other people's sleep and other people's needs. For instance, if you might have a spouse or family members that you live with, their sleep needs might be different than yours. Their capabilities might be different than yours. But for me, I have a very hypersensitive central nervous system that is sensitive to light, to LED lights, to noises. I like to have a white noise machine in my room. I have a weighted blanket. I have a certain posture that I sleep with. And it's overwhelming for people that don't have that need and they don't understand it. But once you start to learn about you, and the more you implement certain abilities, and Matt will talk more about his, it really helps ease the process. And it's not an event. This is a process that takes time, commitment. You're going to have good days and bad days, times in your life where you can't implement some of these things, and other times where you take a step back and reanalyze and then recommit yourself. So for me, it's a process, and I try every day to restart again with these little steps to make myself have a better night's sleep.
Thank you for that, Brian. So we think about hygiene, right? I think there are a lot of just general practices to where our heads immediately go, brushing our teeth, washing our face, etc. Zooming out, what I would call all of that is taking care of ourselves, right? And when I think of sleep hygiene, I think of taking care of myself as it relates to setting myself up for success, to be well rested, and to, as I mentioned earlier, fill up my tank to be able to show up in the ways that I've committed to showing up every day. So what that looks like for me, practically speaking, is following a bedtime routine, as simple as it is, but not letting the fear of missing out or the fear that there could be something more exciting happening to keep on going, keep doing stuff, to not allow that to get in the way of doing what I know needs to happen in order to feel rested and fresh. So I like to, at the latest 9 o'clock, have my phone off, have it put away. I like to put on my sleep socks, which allegedly improve sleep. I don't know, but they're going on. I like to get under my heated blanket in my recliner chair. I do some reading. I listen to some soft cello music as of late. And I find that in following this routine every night, I'm able to take care of myself to seamlessly drift off to slumber and seize the next day rested.
I've seen the stats, and he's telling the truth. His stats are impeccable, so it's working.
All right, so that leads me to the next question, because there are probably a handful of people out here that, one, don't understand what we mean by sleep circle friends, right? Or buddies, as you called it. And then stats. So what do you mean stats?
Well, for stats, we live in a world now where everyone, not everyone, but some people have access to certain devices, whether it be maybe a smartwatch or a smartphone or a wearable watch for athletics or for, like Fitbits, and there's different, I don't want to promote any individual company, but some of this technology allows us to connect with community. And I created a little group called the Fellowship of the Ring, and and we basically have a little morning with coffee time period where we reflect on the previous night's sleep. We encourage everyone in the group to share where they're at, good, bad, and indifferent, and having access to each other's information, it really can help foster an atmosphere of support, and that's really important.
Yeah, and to plus one across the board on that whole sentiment, I find in the current age where we have access to so much data, it can, for starters, be overwhelming, and it's important to not live and die by these things. It's important to do our best, right? To just show up, to look for small improvements. But at the end of the day, I'm a believer in the sentiment that you can't manage what you can't measure. And in being able to get a snapshot into the data that aligns with my sleep patterns and the way that I'm sleeping, I've been able to make little changes as it relates to what I'm eating and when I'm eating in regard to bedtime. Understanding that if I go to bed too late, it's not always as simple as just sleeping a little bit later. The quality of sleep just isn't there. And in being able to share that data with friends, it not only fosters community, but I found it fosters accountability, as silly as it may sound. I don't want to let my pals down. I want to get a good night's sleep for the boys. And so it's been a really great way to be able to focus on myself and at the same time feel more connected to other people and to see how they're doing, because we don't always all have great night's sleep.
And one little quick story, and a nice thing about this community is it's not, it's a collection of individuals, and I'm 47 and Matt's 32. And for us to be able to connect on such a thing as sleep, it would seem preposterous to me 5 years ago. And the fact that it works is even more interesting and enjoyable. And I've actually learned a lot from Matt during this whole entire process of getting to know him and in the group from the sleep side of his life, because most of us, we don't talk about sleep a lot. And to have the group, there was a time about 6 months ago where I was going through an extremely difficult time. I was incredibly stressed. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. In every measurable aspect of my health was dropping off a cliff. And I think this Fellowship of the Ring really helps me, because before I could even ask for help, the stats showed that I needed help. And Matt stepped in to offer me an ear to listen and recommendations for ways to improve my situation. And it was so valuable, and it was actually touching. And I think that was what motivated us being on the panel tonight.
That is actually exactly what motivated you to be on the panel, and so shout out to the Monthly Purpose, shout out to the Evolve, right? So we here at the Monthly Purpose, everyone that's been here, all that are, collectively have become close with each other and friends with each other, all have shared sort of the things we're working on and where we're at. And so I appreciate you sharing that and that accountability. We're accountable with each other here. So if you don't have someone to be accountable with, I will be that person with you if you need it. If you're missing that, I'm sure Matt O'Brien would be that person as well. Hyatt, everyone here, if you want someone to hold you accountable, they will. I am 3 weeks off of Instagram Reels, and I'm very excited about that. Yes, and so that's what I've been doing, and doing some meditations and doing some sleep hypnosis, because, the social condition, sometimes you want to see what others are seeing. Now, for me, I'm going to go back to you and say, can you tell us some of the negative impacts before you started looking at your sleep that you were having and how they've improved now because of that?
Yeah. So as a person that has a history of depression and a history of mental health issues with anxiety especially, and also with the sleep apnea issue, and that was just the first step in many, many years of small, tiny changes to improve the situation. But I think emotional dysregulation was one. I would feel easier to be upset about things, more overwhelmed by stress. I think increased heart rate, increased inability to stay asleep once I fell asleep. And it's not just one thing. It's a whole bunch of things that create the situation. And part of it is lack of exercise, part of it is lack of poor diet, eating too late at night, the wrong foods late at night. The list is long, and don't look at it, though, if you're at the beginning stage, don't look at it as something that is, you have to do all the things perfectly right away. If you just change one little tiny thing and do that continuously, and then add more as you become more resilient and more capable of handling it, it's not a hard process. And we're all just moving forward, so why not just make little changes at a time instead of radically changing everything where you feel overwhelmed? So.
Absolutely, and building on what Brian said, it's certainly a pace, not a race. I have found that, everything that could be better is better, quite frankly, since really prioritizing my sleep. And not to say that a good night's sleep is some magical panacea, but in my personal experience, just piling up those little wins has translated to the momentum that's kept the flywheel spinning in my life over these past few months. My stress is lower, my focus feels more consistent throughout the day. I've felt more motivated to invest more energy in being conscious of what I'm eating and what my fitness looks like. Because when we're taking care of ourselves in one area, it, in my experience, becomes easier to do it in the others. We get those little wins. We see what we're capable of. And as they say, shavings make a pile.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming. I got the cut sign from the back, and so it is time to wrap up. But if anyone needs any recommendation on sleeping and what to do on YouTube after you've watched all the videos on the cause, of course, the Cause Community Network, but you can do a quick Google search of sleep talk down, sleep hypnosis, and like some of those first grab that comes up is just sort of like got you focused on that. You can just listen to it. And I just have to plug that you said yours was the cello. Is that what you're listening to? Because, yeah, like I had a little bit of saxophone for a little while and a little bit of violin. And so I'm glad to connect on that because, sometimes I don't want to admit that that's what I'm listening to at night. But I had to turn the Judge Judy off. So, because the yelling and the anger, we've had to shift that to get the good night's sleep, right? So,
Keep it real.
yes. And the last thing is so would like to thank you both for coming. This is my wonderful husband who's here. So yay! Yes. And so we have become sleep buddies as well. And I think he gets a little upset that I can sleep on the chair and get a 90, and he needs to have a whole routine.
We're all different. That's why I said that.
But thank you both for coming, and let's everybody give them a hand.
Join the Monthly Purpose community or be featured in a show. The Monthly Purpose is a new form of live and live-streamed interactive entertainment focused on personal growth and community improvement. Our producers are working on the second season, which means we are searching for inspiring guest speakers, community initiatives to highlight, and uplifting performing artists. Visit monthlypurpose.com and click on a link to join the community or suggest a person, organization, or even yourself to be a part of a future episode.
The party is a chance for us all for one day to experience what it's like if we spend our lives helping others, connecting with strangers, trying to become united as one. The party is Delaware largest service project.
The party is a place you come together with people who can offer so many wonderful things. You can participate, you can be part of the greater cause to make the world a better place. So why not? The party is energetic. The party is the place to be.
The party is lit, fun, amazing, connecting with people, longevity.
Party is service, and helping others, and being a part of it. You gotta be a part of it. You can't just let someone else do it for you.
The party is community. The party is engagement. The party is a bunch of like-minded people getting together and doing some good. That's what the party is.
Hello. Okay, we're back. All right. Hope you guys are having fun. All right. So I want to introduce this musical guest, Dr. Eliza Carter, who is a breath of fresh air. She is very intentional and present each time you meet her, and it's been like a pleasure interacting with her in different facets of my life, into work and personal, attending her conference, and the fact is she's a Renaissance woman, and here she is to delight us with her music.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is always a joy to come into a space where there is peace and harmony. There's so much love in this space. I'm telling you, I love being here every time I enter this presence. So I'm going to sing a song for you. And in singing this song, I've been chirping this song for like a couple of months here. And when I started chirping it, I realized I really didn't know the words. So I had to go and learn the words. So I want you to go on a journey with me in this song. And it's about change. You know, the song says everything must change. But when we think about our lives, it's something in your life right now that's really in you that needs to make a shift. So I want you to focus on that, not in a stressful way, but in a more of a commitment way, to say, I'm just going to take some time and think about something I want to change and enjoy the rhythm of this song. We're going to take a deep breath before we get into it. That I sound is a natural sound that we make. Let's do it again. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everything will change. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. The young become they all die, and mysteries unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life you can be sure of, except the rain comes from the clouds, and that sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life we can be sure of, except that rain comes from the clouds, and the sun lights up the sky, and those hummingbirds do fly. 'Cause everything must change, 'cause nothing stays the same, 'cause each and every one of us must change. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in this life we can be sure of, except that rain comes from the clouds, and that sun lights up the sky, and those hummingbirds do fly. 'Cause everything must change. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dr. Liza Carter as we go to commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got our own resident Scott Michaels and the Toolbox. Get your brains open and get ready to learn, folks. Here comes some wonderful tips on how to rest from your host, Scott Michaels.
Brain! Open your brains. Like that Billy said that. Hey, everybody, the Toolbox is our quick segment just to make sure that we're giving you some actual skills or ways to improve your life. And usually, including tonight, for those in-house, the Toolbox is in your pamphlet right in front of you. And for those at home, we actually have it. We're going to put it right up on the screen for you so you can watch along at home. But first of all, before I get into this, what a show, okay? What a show we've been having. Am I right? I mean, every single tone has been being hit like so beautifully and perfect tonight, from the musical performance and also seeing your work in real life, Dr. Carter. I'm sorry, I know I'm going a little bit off subject here, but the well-roundedness of a human being is like just beautifully on display tonight. And then for the, when Brian and Matt really did say things that are going to change my life. And I wanted to mention you guys because what we've got here is a sleepometer. This is our rest check-in. And so what we want to make sure is that we have some realistic things for you to think about whether you are actually getting enough rest right now in your life. So if you are playing along at home, you can look at the screen. And basically, this is like one of those, in the back of 17 magazines, little test where you're going to add up a little score. How many of you love that 17 magazine? Am I the only one? Okay. All right. So the rest check-in, but I'm going to read it so that everyone can hear that these are all 6 different techniques or ideas that can help you get that rest. And I'm 100% serious. When my life has changed after tonight's show, I'm going to take my rest and my sleep so much more seriously. And I'm going to start. I really like the idea of the shavings. Make a pile. I'm not going to really worry about the whole thing right now. I'm just going to start with bedtime or something. But also that accountability part in the story was so magical. But let's start at the top. Are you sticking to a sleep schedule of 7 or 8 hours? So if you are, you can go ahead and put a check in there and give yourself 5 points. How many people are doing that in here? All right. How many people are not quite there yet? All right, good. And so what we're trying to say is that if you're seeing improvement areas here, maybe you circle this one and think about it a little bit later. All right, avoid heavy meals, nicotine, caffeine, or alcohol within a few hours of sleep. How many of you do that? That you avoided, okay. This is something I got to work on. I eat heavy meals before bed. I definitely drink caffeine very late in the day. All right, so I am right now on a 0 out of 10. Okay, all right. Avoid prolonged use of light-emitting screens before sleep. I have read that before. Is this true to our Fellowship of the Ring? Yes, and I'm also hearing it back here. Billy has a sleep ring, too. The producer in the back, he's got to join your fellowship. But I have heard that our brain, by looking at screens, is sort of a little bit lit up, our eyes and things like that, and it's not a great idea. I think less screen time in general is probably good. Not necessarily for you watching at home, not necessarily you right now. Keep watching that screen. No, but for real, a little less screen time out there.
Screens include televisions.
Oh.
Yes.
I did hear, I think it was Matt or was talking about reading. Reading's okay? Because it's not that light screen. Okay, very good. So then if you're reading on a digital device, maybe one of those ones that has the black background so it's not hurting your eyes. Limit daytime nap to an hour or less. All right, that's a pretty good one. We all like the idea to nap, but are we over-napping? Get at least 30 minutes of physical activity. How many people are doing that? Is that a day or is that a week? A month? Is that a month? Oh, I'm being told it's a day. Walking up and down the stairs, going to the bathroom, that does, no, to go to the bathroom, not the 2 separate things with a comma. Yeah, all right. Yes. I am someone who, this might sound silly, but right now I'm lucky enough that I'm still able to walk upstairs. We have an elevator in this building, so I choose to use the stairs as much as I can. And to your point, Matt, little shavings, I try to find little exercise moments throughout the day, time to stand up, walk around, and things like that. I don't know if I get the 30. All right, the last one is meditate, do yoga, or some other sort of relaxation technique before bed. Anyone do that here? All right, we have a couple there. Oh, also, I don't know if any of you guys are starting to think about your own now sleep sockets. I don't know what you're going to call it, but how I'm going to make a little home for myself in my bed from now on. That's something I'm looking forward to. All right, let me ask you this. Did anyone in here get a perfect score of 30? All right, Matt! Of course, the pro. Yo, let's give it up for Matt, who is taking this sleep thing to a whole next level. Holy moly. All right, who's got 25 points? You were at 25. Okay, don't be shy. Maybe if you had that 5 extra points, you would have jumped right out of your seat to say that you got 25. All right, 20 points. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. How about who's down in the 15? We got a couple 15s, yep. 10 points. Okay. So when we're down, and I'm with you on the 10 to 5 to 10 points, so if I really was to take this seriously. And if you're in the 0 to 5 points, wonderful things that you can do to what's that? Today is the first day of the rest of your life. And you know what? If you're a 0 to 5, imagine this. Imagine you're not getting one of the most important things in your life that can make a whole difference to your entire life. Like if you are a 0 to 5, I would say it's almost like you're living without water or you're almost living without oxygen. So this could be a life-changing moment if you are sitting here circling a 0 to 5 or as we did a 0 to 10, that we could be improving our quality of life just by doing some of these things. So that's the toolbox. Anyone else have any other suggestions about that sleep toolbox or rest? Yes, we got one out here. Gonna quickly hit the light so we can see who we are seeing. Oh, perfect. Thank you, sir.
One of the biggest things that I changed was to wear eye shields to keep the light out. It's life-changing.
Eye shields. I just experienced that for the first time. We were on a very long flight, and I tried to create a sleep cocoon for myself. Eye shields were a big part. Earplugs helped me out a lot.
Foot rubs and foot massages. Rubbing your own feet before you go to bed is, just do it, and you'll understand.
And Elijah is up for rubbing your feet because his kind for kindness. All right, well, thanks everybody for a toolbox. Make sure that you add more to that. We have, hey, let's bring Miss Haya back up here because I know I can go too long.
No.
When Billy Graham walks out in the audience, I got to.
No, it's awesome discussion, but now it's a reach out moment.
Yes.
Guess what? Transition of today starts the rest of your life. I want you to text yourself. What habit are you going to pick up from tonight? What you learned? What are you going to do to recharge yourself and make a commitment to have, the moments that you're going to take?
And I'm going to take that a step further. Sometimes the reach out moment, what we're trying to do is bring the messages in this room out to others. And that is part of what we call the 1, 2, 3. The 1 is you do something here, and then the 2 is you spread it to your community, and then the 3 is you invite people to come here and experience the community. So maybe this is a chance to create a accountability, a sleep buddy. So maybe you can text to someone right now saying, hey,
this is what
I could use some more rest. This is what I'm going to be doing. Help me commit to this.
Yes. Now watch the reel on the Instagram. If that's what will let me watch that, okay, that'll help me. Whatever it is, text it to yourself and then text it to someone to say, please hold me accountable.
Yeah, we're going to give you a moment to text. And really do it. This is something where we've reconnected families through this text reach out moment. We'll give you a moment. We'll be right back. All right. Well, oh my goodness, already at this point in the show.
Yeah, it's a share time. Now, this is when you tell us what you have learned, what you processed, something went ding. Gosh, that was awesome thoughts. So.
Yeah, so we're going to hit the lights, but again, this is sort of the end of the show. It's a 10-second share. So just quick thoughts that we haven't hit yet tonight that can enrich our experience or something that you learned or made you feel good about. Do we have any 10-second shares? Oh, we got one over here. We'll be right back with that.
I learned that Dr. Carter has an amazing voice.
I know.
And the song was perfect for tonight, and there was such depth and meaning in your sound and also in the message behind the song, the words. It was awesome.
Intentional, like I said. She's really intentional.
Absolutely.
I agree, and I'm so happy that you're my colleague recently, too. We just joined team, so I'm happy to hear, and I hope you sing more around the office, too. But I love what Brian and Matt, what you both said, and for me personally, I love what you said about, not thinking about it, wow, you have to do all these things and implement all these changes overnight, and I think that's something that everybody can, it can be a little bit overwhelming, so that's inspiring for me. So thank you.
So I think the buddy system is so awesome because a lot of times we take for granted that we need somebody to support us, and we don't always know how to ask for help, or even it seems menial, but it's always big. So I have an accountability partner, but I'm getting ready to make a switch tonight. And add something new in because although I go to bed early, I always wake up 4 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
I get up with my husband, then I go back to bed, then I come back out, and I'm like, Eliza, you're going to have to make a switch with that. But it's a season I've been in, because I've never done that before. So I had to accept the season, but now I got to get myself out of the season. You know? Yeah. So, yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great information, and definitely going to use it. And I text my husband. So I didn't text my buddy yet. I text my husband. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock. I'm not going to go to bed at 11:30. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock. Because he's in the bed by 9:30, you know. But, yeah, so, yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody else?
Got any more shares?
All right.
This is it. This is what this whole thing is about. Coming together and helping each other evolve. Like, what a beautiful night. What a beautiful night.
So we're like, all right, so please subscribe and tell people about this. It's just so amazing. If you know groups like any, whether it's recovery, mental health, like this show really is, can bring people the conversation we have. So please share with them.
And yeah, this QR code that you're seeing right now is to our producers. So this is how you can also join the show, meaning do you have a group that you would like to do the community spotlight on? You saw the wonderful work today with Dr. Carter. We've gone out all throughout the state of Delaware. We have a great one coming up. We went out to Ohio, actually, to film one. Do you know any musical artists that you would like to see on the stage? Do you know anybody who would like to be on as a guest? Do you have any topics for future episodes we'd like to hear from you? Season 3, that's right. And then could you go quickly back? That is our YouTube. This is where we would love you to subscribe, become one of those 110,000 subscribers.
And growing.
And now we are going to be, yeah, that's what I just said. Oh, that's why they went ahead.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. We got Billy and Sean in the back, by the way. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Yep.
Woo! We feel the love. Thanks, everybody.
So it's about, did we hit our goal is I think where we're at. So did we inspire you?
Did you learn about recharging through rest? Yeah. These are real yeses.
Yes.
For the people at home,
believe
these
so.
are real. Did we expand the MP community? Absolutely. Did anyone here tonight meet someone new that they had never met before or have an interaction? Yeah.
Or reacquainted with somebody you haven't seen in a while. That's another thing.
What's that? There's a new networking partnering happening
All
right now.
right,
Billy's
okay.
seeing some networking. We have a special networking infrared light in this room. And right
Okay.
now it seems to be buzzing somewhere over there. Like,
Hey, it's a good place, good space.
well, folks, we are a
Thank you
family
so
here at the Multipurpose, and what do all families do? They take a group picture together. So we always end with our selfie of the episode because, you know, when this program, you know, years from now, when you're watching it on cable television, you could be like, oh my gosh, I was actually an audience member at season 2, episode 4!
Yes!
Where I changed my life and my sleep habits. All right, so if we can, everyone comes up here, just stand up here. Billy's our photographer. Here's Billy. And we also want to give a big shout out to Kevin and to Adam and to Lilo. And who else is back there? Alana back from college too. Same with Kevin, back from college to be here tonight with us. Thanks, guys.
All right, some of you know what you're doing already. You're looking right here.
Yep, just stand. So if you can't see Billy, he can't see you.